ferraro.com, promo code Amy.
AM 560, The Answer.
We are back on the show all about small business jobs and entrepreneurship business. We talk a lot about business here, and that is why I have my friend Tony Ferraro from the Author's Place on with me on Get Down to Business. Tony, welcome to the program.
Hey, it's great to be here. I certainly appreciate it. What a wonderful opportunity.
Absolutely. Full steam ahead in this period of COVID. Now is the time to dive in deeper into meaningful relationships and moving your business forward. And I know that's what you are all about. So, Tony, let's start with getting to know you. I know you have a very impressive background, and you, together with your partner, Steve, you are the managing directors and founders of Author's Place Press. Tell us a little bit about your background, and then we'll get into the business.
Sure. I came up through the software world. I'm sort of the serial entrepreneur that one of the most memorable and best days of my life was when I failed and realized that I'd rather fail for the rest of my life doing something I wanted to do than pursue something I didn't want to do and be successful at it. And so that really kicked off entrepreneurialism. So that was in 2000. And since then, I've had several businesses, mostly in software, social, SEO, in those spaces, and had some very successful exits with those and done very well. And then about a year ago, we jumped into Author's Place Press.
Absolutely. And so glad you did, because you are helping so many entrepreneurs tell their story. And I know stories is something that you believe in very, very much, stories and messaging. Tell us a little bit about what you guys do and how you help entrepreneurs tell their story.
Absolutely. The market has changed dramatically. It used to be that publishers were effectively a channel to put books on shelves, and it was all about getting a book published. But today, publishing is really about getting a voice to market. And so we see ourselves as a conduit through which a voice can impact the world. And our primary job every day is to remove the barriers between the voice and the impact. And so whether the channel by which a voice impacts the world is a book or social media or standing on a stage or a website or a podcast, etc., what we're going to be focused on is helping that individual really articulate their dream for the world in the best way, and then identifying the best channel to get that voice to market in the most impactful way.
So let's talk about some of the successes. You have been hard at work, and you are, I believe, helping 500 plus authors get their message out.
That's
and
correct.
Prosper through that message. Let's hear about some of the examples, and then we'll talk about some of those tools that you use.
Yeah, sure. That's great. So we've got authors in a variety of markets, mostly nonfiction, everything from self-help, personal development to leadership development, etc. We've got, one author that's the former president of AT&T. We've got people with decades of experience. We've got authors all over the world. And so from a success perspective, I think where we've had the greatest success, and this is the big win for me personally, is when I work with an author or a coach who's been doing this a very long time, for years, and we take some time to really help them discover the best language to use to describe their marketplace and their customer and understand the value. We've got authors who have been writing for 20 years, and we spend an hour and a half on the phone together, and all of a sudden they're reinventing their entire platform based on that time together. I've got a unique gift of really activating people in their thoughts and their ideas to really activate others. And so that's where the real success is working with people who really understand themselves and what they're trying to do and help them get to that next level in a big, powerful way.
So let's get a little bit deeper, and we'll talk about some of the tools that you use, some of the methods they use to go beyond just the typical sort of print and paper to tell that story. How are you embracing the tools that are out there, like social media? What else do you do?
Well, that's a big advantage that I have because my career, again, has been in social. I started a social media company that I still have actually in 2003. And it's been fantastic. So we take advantage of all of the social channels, but understand that they're very different. Facebook, you don't use Facebook the same way you use Twitter or Pinterest or Instagram or TikTok or, any of the others. They all have a unique purpose. And so we start with the question of who is your customer? What's the journey that you're trying to take them on? And then which tools are the best tools to get them from point A to point B? And what is the message that we need to deliver in that channel? So that's kind of how we look at it, is very strategically. To me, everything starts with a dream, and everything that we use to move people towards that dream is a tool. And so it's not, hey, let's do a social strategy for the sake of a social strategy. The question is, how do we move people from point A to point B, and what's the right tool to do that with?
So I know that the station here at AM 560, I know, is regularly bombarded with books and press releases and sort of the normal attack of publicists. Can we get our author on the air? And I'm bombarded with those emails. It sounds like you guys are using a little bit more of a creative approach to also use the tools of today. So you are working as the publicist, really, for somebody's business and for somebody's entrepreneurial identity beyond just printing the book.
Yeah, in some ways. And then also, we're pretty avid fans of what we call digital marketing funnels. The primary brand in the space is ClickFunnels, but we're pretty avid champions of putting together a digital marketing funnel for our authors, because we do believe that as we can draw people in using social channels into a funnel that escalates the relationship and really identifies the core, it's better for the content consumer, and it's certainly better for the content driver financially. So it's good for everybody. And so, yes, we use all of those various tools to drive and enhance that relationship so that both sides are getting maximum exposure and maximum quality and value out of the relationship.
How about ebooks? Are you leveraging?
Yeah. So every book that we publish, sure, of course, every book we publish, we do an ebook with as well. And that's one of the nice things that we do when we put together a digital marketing funnel for our authors. We include the ebook as part of the purchase. So if someone were to go to Amazon.com and buy the book, the author's going to get about 87 cents and never have any idea who bought the book. When they put together a digital marketing funnel, there's an opportunity for their client to get that book for literally half the price, but include with it the ebook. So not only are they paying less, they're getting more. But here's what the kicker is for the author: they're getting the name, the address, the phone number of that customer, so they can build a relationship with them and escalate that relationship over time.
Sounds like a pretty impressive tool that I keep mentioning entrepreneurs because that's what we focus on. But really, so many different subject matter experts can focus on. So, are you at liberty to share some of the titles? I believe there's over 650 that you guys have worked on. Lots of messages, lots of stories in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of great titles. One of my favorites is Beach Money by Jordan Adler. Another is Mom BA. I really love Mom BA. The author there is Karen Sporkin, and she's focused on helping women really be empowered to pursue their professional goals while still being a very active, successful mom. And it's really great. Her and her daughter wrote that book together. It's fantastic. So those are a couple. And then Be Chief is another. And we've got an HR book that we've just launched called Next Mapping by Cheryl Cran out of Canada. That's fantastic. And then we have another author, Ira Wolf, with Recruiting in the Age of Googlization, which I think is really important on the side of this COVID thing, is figuring out as a business, how do we recruit in a different way? And his book's all about that.
Well, lots of great content through your titles, but also I've been learning so much from you, Tony, in terms of the tools that are out there. And you're publishing nonfiction books primarily. Over 500 authors, over 600 titles in print and electronic form. Very, very impressive. Surely our listeners have a lot of questions. And they will want to learn more. We've got just under a minute remaining. How can they get in touch with you guys, and how can they learn more about possibly becoming an author, a published author of a book and any book?
Yeah, the best thing to do, obviously, is to go to our website. It's a great place to start. Authors, that's with an S, authorsplace.com. You can certainly email me directly at tony@authorsplace.com. Happy to help in any way I can. And happy to just jump in there and dive into the content with you as soon as I hear from you and help you discover your next and help you get to your dream.
I appreciate your time, Tony. Thank you for sharing so much fascinating information. Once again, authorsplace.com. Thank you once again for sharing that. We'll be sure to follow your progress in this journey as you help so many people tell their story. You are listening to Get Down to Business, the show all about small business jobs and entrepreneurship. We're going to squeeze in a quick break, and we will be back in just a moment. Thanks again, Tony.
Just this past week,